Hi, my name is Ken Fickler. I'm the founder and CEO of Gaze, and we're an impairment detection technology company. Today I'd like to talk about California's AB2188. California has become one of the first states to prevent employers from firing workers or declining to hire individuals due to their off-duty marijuana use, following a bill signed by Governor Gavin Newsom. Assembly Bill, or AB 2188, forbids employers from discriminating against individuals in hiring, termination, or other employment conditions based on off-duty and off-premises cannabis use. The bill was signed into law in September of 22 and became effective on January 1st of 2024. This law amends the California Fair Employment and Housing Act, or FEHA, and also declares it an unlawful employment practice to discriminate based on an employer-required drug screening test detecting non-psychoactive cannabis metabolites in an individual's bodily fluids. So basically, you cannot test for THC metabolites and take adverse action against an employee. Although recreational marijuana use has been legal in California since 2016 and medical marijuana use since 1996, California's AB 2188 will be the state's first law to offer specific workplace protections for recreational and medical marijuana users. It's also one of the strongest such laws in the United States so far. Employers will still be permitted to regulate marijuana use during work hours. AB 2188 will not allow employees to possess, to be either under the influence, or use cannabis while working. And the intent of the law is to force employers to prove that a worker is impaired on cannabis at work before taking adverse action. Unfortunately, the law is only a half step in that direction, and it will by no means solve this problem. In short, the issue arises from the language of the law, which allows employers to test for active THC but not THC metabolites. That basically limits employers to using oral fluid or saliva tests, blood tests, or breath tests if they want to do traditional chemical-based drug testing. The problem is that active THC in the body doesn't necessarily mean that someone is actively impaired. While cannabis impairment typically lasts for about 90 minutes, oral fluid tests will commonly test positive for about 48 hours since the last use. Breath tests are somewhat more selective, but will commonly be positive for 3 to 5 hours since the last use. And blood tests, in addition to being phenomenally invasive, can contain active THC for over a week since the last use of marijuana. In each case, the risk of testing a safe and responsible cannabis-using employee and finding active THC in their body is extremely probable, so unfair dismissals will certainly still happen. Of course, employers can perform impairment screening for active cannabis impairment using impairment detection technology like Gaze if they actually want to treat workers fairly. The bill also maintains workers' rights to enforce drug and alcohol-free workplaces as required by federal law or regulation. So that means that employers with federal contracts or who are bidding on federal contracts or who fall within federal regulation, like Department of Transportation regulated drivers, may still prohibit their employees from using cannabis as it remains a Schedule I drug as of early 24. Employers in this position are in a particularly challenged position due to tight labor markets and the popularity of cannabis. Employees are simply opting out of jobs in which they cannot use the substance during their off time. Further exceptions are provided for employees in the building and construction trades and federal job applicants or employees requiring US DoD clearance. So that's secret, top secret type clearance. Some business groups have expressed concerns about the limitations of AB 2188 places on drug testing and the ability to discipline for suspected on-the-job cannabis use. However, proponents of the legislation see it as a more fair and logical way to maintain a safe workplace while respecting employees' right to use a legal substance during their off time. So AB 2188 positions California among the growing number of states that have legalized cannabis and enacted workplace protections for off-duty use. However, the bill still allows employers to enforce drug and alcohol-free workplace policies and continue marijuana testing, provided the test did not target non-psychoactive substances in the body. As I mentioned previously, it really doesn't solve the problem that the bill sponsors were aiming to and that the governor was aiming to when he signed the bill. So hopefully further legislation will happen in this area that will actually provide logical protections to off-duty safe cannabis users. Implementing such tests presents challenges for employers and raises questions about enforcing workplace policies and disciplinary actions. California may need to review and update their workplace drug policies and screening procedures in order to remain compliant. Gaze provides employers with a way to maintain safe workplaces in compliance with AB 2188 with a non-invasive, portable, and rapid impairment screening device that detects active impairment from cannabis and other drugs.